The end of the 70s would see the death of disco, punk evolve into goth, hip-hop and rap emerge from urban centers, and the birth of the internet. In 1980, 65 countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics in protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan, and the Iranian hostage crisis consumed American politics. The 1980s would be the era of the Iran-Contra scandal, AIDS, and the fall of the Berlin Wall. After more than 2 decades where the coolness and emotional detachment of pop and minimalism dominated the art world, it was time for a rebellion. The weapon for this rebellion would be paint. In Germany, artists looked to return to the emotional passion and visual narrative of the Expressionists from early 20th century. These artists returned to myth and figure as subjects. Their style echoed the interest in primitive art and aggressive paint application of their German forebears. In the United States, a similar aesthetic was unfolding. American painters used more appropriated imagery and contemporary artifacts in their work than their German counterparts. Their technique was less painterly, and they were more concerned with dramatic conflict caused by pictorial juxtaposition. Italy and England would also see a number of artists who addressed this Neo-Expressionism, either stylistically or thematically. Some art critics championed the revival of painting as a rebuttal to all the sculpture that had been predominant in the 70s. They applauded an art where content was more important than style. They saw this approach as less elitist than most modes of abstract art. But there was something different about this new expressionism that caused other critics pause. An easy criticism was that these artists had returned to an outdated mode of working, but there were aspects that were more troubling. What came through in the work was a self-awareness of the attempt to make a splash rather than an authentic investigation into cultural or psychological states. It was almost as if they were mocking expressionism by seeing how far they could push ugliness and bad painting. Was the cynicism tongue-in-cheek? Perhaps it was colored by the slick marketing and overexposure of this style by a new wave of galleries run by MBAs and museums looking for blockbuster shows. Only time will tell. In any case, Neo-Expressionism as an influential artistic direction experienced a relatively quick flame-out.